So I'm gonna do a free flowing podcast today. It's right after the Conor Murphy podcast. I'm gonna do his double hair, you lucky bitches. Back to back fucking what do you call those? Fucking shit. Grindhouse shit, bitches. So I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I have some rough ideas. By the way, I'm recording this at MP3 Recorder, this app. The good thing is you can pause and restart. I don't know. I'm not much of a techie guy, and despite being a fucking Southeast Asian, but yeah, and but MP3 recorder is not paying me or anything. I'm just it's much better than some other ones where you can't pause. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, what are we gonna talk about? Uh, yeah, and that's the thing. I love the spontaneity. I love uncertainty. And let's title it Life is a Journey, Don't Overplan It. And there is actually good history behind it. I was like, the other day, I don't like routines. I have a rough routine. Like, I sometimes intermittent fast, and that's it. But they're very loose routine. And even when I'm intermittent fasting, suppose like I don't say, oh, it's 8 o'clock, I'm gonna stop eating like a robot, blah blah. It kind of whittles down. It's more of a gradient. It's like if I want to drink some Powerade. Again, Powerade is not paying me. Maybe they should reach out to me, Powerade, if you're listening. Yeah, if I feel like, and I just keep a track, mental note, or make a mental note when is the last time I stop eating. Suppose if it's even if it's 10, then I try to do okay 2 hour fast till the next in the morning, 10 in the morning, and even before that, if I wake up at 8, I drink a coffee that abates the hunger. And so yeah, basically what I'm saying is I don't have a routine. So anywho, so I was taking my mom to the doctor, and then all of a sudden I felt this incredible ease and comfort, and I wasn't high or anything, and it's almost like a dopamine serotonin balance, good, an appropriate balance. And I wasn't, people. Some people. There was that one time in my life I obsessed about visualizing the journey, as if any visualize. I mean, I'm not trying to knock on visualization, or those fucking law of attraction hacks and gurus, the secret hacks, but you cannot. All these idiots, these mooks, these fucking douchebags, these fucking thick-headed fucking dweebs. What they don't get is there's just infinite amount of variables you cannot control in life. Life is not. You can imagine you're gonna go from here to. It doesn't even have to be the next gas station. It can be just fucking next room. If you're in living room, if you want to go to your bedroom, imagine how you're gonna visualize how you're gonna do it. And okay, maybe it's gonna happen the way you predict it because it's at home, but just take that same scenario outside. You cannot predict. Fucking dog can come and fucking poop on your pants. Fucking some guy can get hit by a bus. Fucking some homeless person can ask for money, panhandle. I mean, anything can possible. So when you're so visualization, it's not like all these idiots, these Tony Robbins people and all this Brian Johnson. I figure fucking he owes me if I should give a shout out to him on this channel. But I used to love Brian Johnson. I mean, all his cliff notes and everything. But there has been spate of all these people who copies each other, copycat all this. Whether it be fucking, I don't want to call out all the names, but maybe I should call out the name. Hey, it's not illegal or anything. And they're big people. They're public figure. They're big old like all this self help like productivity, go like and a cold shower, fucking intermittent fasting, keto, blah blah blah, sleep. These idiots make sleep and drinking water a routine, a fucking self-help pissing contest. This is how far astray they have come. If you have to, what's next? Breathing. How many like who can breathe the most in 24 hours? Fucking human being takes ever. I don't know, like 60,000. How many times does every human being breathe a day? I don't know. Oh, let's see if we can do the perfect. Just shut the fuck up, dude. Just chill. So as I was saying, so I felt this incredible rush of peace, serenity, and motivation. Like I was feeling good, and I didn't plan anything. And that's the same with life, like, and with journey, with travel, like, some people research. If you're gonna go to Taj Mahal, no, forget Taj Mahal, some obscure place. Suppose some installment art piece, or like some weird museum. Let's just say museum of railway toys or some weird shit. Like, if you're researching it, then you're fucking killing the whole point, you idiot. What's the point of like researching everything if you see everything in the internet? What happened to the love of spontaneity, the uncertainty, and then the joy of not knowing what's gonna happen? And that itself is like a trip. That itself is a Jack Kerouacian, like a fucking dharma bomb off the road kind of fucking trip. And life itself is a trip, but life itself is a trip, like an LSD or trip or something. And but people with the routine and like the adherence to all this rigid structure, they just kill it, and they wonder why they go so sapped out of energy, and they look like a fucking zombie, mindless zombie, when they take the shuttle to work next morning. So as I was, and even travel, like life is a journey. Don't overplan it, man. So the first instance when I first saw this rude awakening kind of I had was 21 years ago. I was in my English class, and I think I still have. I don't believe in soul contract and shit. Like, I don't know. I mean, probably like we're here for a reason. We have all have our calling or vocation. I think life is a blank slate. Everything is a blank slate. And then it doesn't matter. It's not serious, as Alan Watts would say. Life, all this shit is meaningless. Meaningless, not in nihilistic sense. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, God doesn't give a flying fuck if you achieve, if you become like David Goggins, or you become like a fucking insect. He doesn't give a flying fuck. Maybe kindness he does, like, yeah, because all you read all this NDE experiences, and all you hear is God is like unconditional love. All he cares is, in his book, all it matters is how kind you are to your fellow human being, and it doesn't pay a fuck. It doesn't cost a fucking dime, a penny, to be kind to someone else. Maybe in his book, those are the bigger quote unquote virtues or sins, or like even in ayahuasca, like, or DMT. I never did those, but you hear the stories, all the repeating take home messages that the God is all love, unconditional love. Whether it be David Icke doing DMT, or like saying almost everyone, every 5 ME or DMT stories would be like God is love. Like, so the point being, as I said, my rude awakening came. So yeah, so I don't believe in calling or anything. But when I look back, like, I started writing, mimicking first the great authors. But even though I had my own voice and niche, even when I was a child, like 12 or like 13, even younger, like, I used to write stories. I used to buy all the, and the greatest high I could get was getting a fucking notebook, blank notebook, and just fill it up with creative, imaginative storytelling ideas. And I had good handwriting, and I started with Bengali, and I never wrote in English. Maybe that'll happen later when I was in South Africa, when I had the spark the growth of, because when you go from Bangladesh to South Africa, it's still a culture shift, but it's also like your barrage of English. You're bombarded with it. Even though I grew up in Bangladesh, there was a in English medium school. But the point being, so um yeah, so yeah, I used to write stories in Bengali, and so I think still wonder if that was like a hint, like from God, like maybe that was what you want to do, because I still believe that thing you used to do naturally as a kid, that's what you grew up to do, and that's a hint if you're trying to find your ikigai and shit. So the point being, I keep repeating that, point being, in Bengali there is a term called mudra dosh. Mudra, you may be familiar with it. Dosh means fault. So it's almost, I don't know why it's called that. It's like idiosyncrasy. So as I was saying, so I used to write stories, right? And that's why I hate publishing something on Amazon, even though I have this lofty goals of penning and composing these 300, 500, 1,000 page books and tome. It's a bitch. It's a chore to sit on Google fucking Docs, where the cursor, the scroll button becomes thinner and thinner and thinner, even if you exceed 100 pages, It's a fucking, and the only good thing is it auto saves, and that's it. But other than that, if you want to write something, do it on Docs or something. Fucking Google, I mean Microsoft. But other than that, Google Docs is the worst software to write story or so compose something, even though they have their nifty bells and whistles and hand nifty gadgets and tools or what add-ons and whatnot. But Google sucks. Google sucks balls big time. I don't want to rant about it right now. So as I was saying, so yeah, that was the greatest joy. Like get a big old fucking notebook and fill it up. But now the after the advent of the internet, not even typewriter, the internet and every computer is like, it's like how nerdy is it to fucking sit in front of a fucking screen with a glaring fucking ray of like radiation and like and just bang away. There's no joy in it, and that's why no wonder I. And then you submit it on Kindle. It takes another, if even if it exceeds 100 pages, it's gonna crank out fucking 10. It just you can't you lose control. There's no way you can control that. Like, and you have to be your own editor, you have to be your own publisher, you have to be your own cover creator, you have to be your own blurb writer, you have to be your marketer. It's a chore now. So all my books on Amazon are like short, like and that yeah. So anywho, going back to that story, so when I was in English class in OCC, Orange Coast College, I don't remember what the guy's name, but I do remember all the things he said. Once he talked about some guy asking for money at a gas station, and he said, "Oh, I knew something was off because he had all the answers." And then in my mind, I distinctly remember, in my mind, I was thinking, if someone has all the answer, why would something be wrong? I mean, isn't that means he's truthful? So anywho, but that guy, he was a cool guy. But he sent me for ESL, and then when I did come from ESL, I did take ESL. I took one class, and he was like, "Did you? Who wrote this for you?" And I was like, "No, I wrote it." But he's like, "No." He said, "Did you go to ESL?" And I was like, "Yeah." So it's like, "Oh, why?" It's like, "Oh, I thought someone else wrote this essay for you." I mean, it was 2000. I'm not gonna delve too much into racism or the subtle racism or like some the superiority complex just because you're American. English is a native tongue. Somehow you're better. Yeah, you might be better speaker, but doesn't mean that you have control over command over vocabulary or grammar or spelling or anything else like that. So he couldn't believe that I wrote it, and but when he said, Did you go to ESL?" I thought he meant that I should have gone to ESL, but I didn't. So I was like, "Hey, yeah, I did go to ESL. Take that one class in ESL." So I was like, "Oh, no," and then he did give me an A. But the point being, he was saying, "Oh, I write stories, I plan it, I have structure it, I have an outline, I have," and that's when the fucking it hit me. Like I was like, and then I said something which I naively, but which I think is a stroke of genius, right? And as I look back, I was like, but doesn't it kill it? I don't know what exactly I said, but I'm like, it doesn't kill us. I'm like, but don't you know what's gonna happen? The whole joy of creating, painting, writing, sculpting, or whatever is, you let it flow. You don't even know what's gonna happen, and it's like a freestyle. It's like you don't know what's gonna come out of it. If you plan it, and that's why I'm not too fan of like those comedies like the clubs like because and even the routine and the because they become they do the same thing over and over and it becomes stale. That's why Conan is funniest when he does those remote because you don't know what's gonna happen. It's like all spontaneous and it's like, but when he does, and that's why monologues are so stale now, and that's also YouTube has blown exponentially because it's all unpredictable, it's dynamic, it's spontaneous, it's life. But when you pre-plan every single goddamn shit in your life, you cross the I's, you dot the T's, and like that's my idiosyncrasy. I like to switch it like a chiasmus from chai means X. Though that's how you actually perceive vision. You actually perceive the world upside down, and then the chiasmatic nerves or whatever basically flips your worldview. I wonder if there's some spiritual significance to it. It's almost like we're all perceiving the world upside down, and some brain is doing the manipulation. Maybe the real world, and they even did. I read our psychology text about how they did this experiment where you view the world upside down. I don't know if it's astronauts, but never mind. I don't know why I'm saying astronauts. So no, they did this. They had people wear these glasses where you view the world upside down. It's like it's like automatically inverted, but human brain is so adaptable and malleable. You get used to it after a week or two. It's like even though you're watching the glasses forces you to view the world upside down, you actually then and your brain automatically adjusts to it. So that even vision, I think we can, if you start wearing glasses, we can all go back to vision, but it's gonna take a long time. I mean, I'm 40, but probably it's gonna take fucking 10, 15 years to go back to perfect vision. But so what's the point? Might as well wear the glasses, right? But it can be done. That's the point. That's what medical pharmaceutical companies, medical is the big old fucking. They're not only butchers, they're thieves, they're corrupt, they're dishonest, they're over medicated, they over pills people. They don't want, and even vision. They'll give you new glasses, and they're so corrupt and dishonest. Sometimes even if your eyes are hurting because they have so they will give you stronger prescription, they still wouldn't deny it. They flatly deny it. The medical profession, they want to talk about fucking, oh, with their heroes. Oh, fuck you, motherfucking piece of fucking, you fucking a-holes. You're not hero. Hero is that they don't fucking the entitlement. Do you want to talk about entitlement? Let's talk about entitlement. The sense of entitlement to say they're heroes when you're fucking these people get brainwashed right from the fucking entry point at a fucking nursing school. Like it's all about medication. It's like all about and you Google anything. Though there's no cure. Stuttering, there's no cure. Vision, there's a cancer. Obviously cancer. Bipolar, like anything. So, motherfucker, that's the whole fucking point you given in the business. You fucking hypocrite, author defying fucking motherfucking fucking cunt. The whole point you went into the medical industry was to serve humanity and to cure people, not to fucking flat out, so there is no cure. But that's exactly what this corrupt, greedy, hungry motherfucking a-holes, physicians and doctors, I'm not saying all of them are bad, but there is this palpable, pervading, this reverberating spirit esprit where people have the doom and gloom feel. It's like because think about it, they wake up at fucking 4 a.m. or like if they're on call or whatever, they go there, they do a fucking mindless job, they come back at home, they watch some mindless box TV, like mindless box, some mindless pre-programmed Netflix or whatever. They watch it's all cookie cutter. They live a cookie cutter fucking mindless life, and they became disillusioned. They became disenchanted, and they think they project they unleash and unload those their own disenchantment upon the patients, saying, "Oh, just because I think my life sucks, your life should suck too." And so many. That's why prescription drugs is one of the leading causes of death in America, right? And also, how many diseases are iatrogenic? Like where physician induced, like physician can give you death and, oh, you have 10 days to live, blown, you're gonna die, and that cause, even though he could he or she could live forever, they could not forever, you get my point, like for a long time, they fucking, and they have the nerve to show concern and sympathy. Oh, we're saving you. You shouldn't commit suicide. Blah blah. No, you fuckhead. And all these people, social workers, psychiatrists, therapists, social worker, clinical worker, if you don't self-actualize and could conquer and dominate, conquer yourself, how the fuck can you help others? But they don't do that. They derive some virtue saying a guilt-tripping power from helping others, as if they're, I was in hospital, and even though HIPAA confidential forbids me otherwise to speak much details about it, but one of the nurses was like, the reason why you're here because we're concerned about, we're helping you, that's why you're here. No, you fuck. The reason why you're here is because it pays you good money, even though you're doing a dirty job. I mean, not all of the nurses were bad, but many. But the hypocrisy, sheer amount of hypocrisy. No, the frontline workers and COVID. The reason why they're not because they're out of some fucking virtue or out of some fucking virtue of helping mankind and humanity, is because fucking they need to feed their fucking family. Fucking at least be honest about it. That's what I might be saying. I don't know why how I ended up here on this the rant tangentially, but as I was saying, so when the guy said, when the professor said, yeah, but yeah, then I told him, but doesn't it kill the whole thing? Like, but then the whole point of creating something is you don't know what's gonna happen. Like just this, like when I right now, like I never thought that, like even 10 minutes ago, like it's been about 20 solid minutes, even 20 minutes ago, I didn't know I was gonna talk about chiasmus, chiasmatic nerve, chiasmatic chiasmus, those chiasmatic nerves, like how your vision is inverted, blah blah blah, and that's the whole joy of it. It's like you dig in your depth of your subconscious psyche and you pull all these nuggets and gems. So you don't even know. It's like you're brainstorming. And same with writing. Like fucking Stephen King is one of the most uh, overrated hack writer in the world. And when you have someone like Pynchon alive, and you have this hack alive, and then the other guys who are read by soccer moms, you really question the IQ, not the IQs of moot concept, like a dead concept, but the fucking intelligence of fucking people, though, and the wavelength they're operating at. I mean, fuck, dude. Whatever happened to fucking? There was Joyce who dropped a bombshell, and you assume that people would grow from there, but it's like, yeah, like the reason why I'm bagging on Stephen King is like, oh, to right. I mean, yeah, we're all God, right? So if I shit on Stephen King, that's like Stephen King. Is it Stephen King or Stephen? Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, to editing is divine or something, like here, as if everything needs to be prim and proper and like grammatical correct. Man, the fucking algorithm can do that nowadays, bitch. So yeah, and it's almost, and then there is Dan Brown. He's okay, but are you writing? Are you doing something creative? Are you like where you're filled with juice and it's like and then, or you're just fucking doing some research like a chore, or like fucking that's why Joe Rogan took off, because it's like, yeah, it's just like smoking a blunt and talking with a buddy, and instead of like as opposed to this formal TV show where I even went to Conan. I love Conan. I have so much love for him, but it's just so contrived and so fake, and it's like control, and yeah, they do have applause about it, and they even prime you up like, hey, let's have some energy, and they do some crowd work, but that's so fake. Hollywood is fake, and like, and so yeah, like, why do you want to do that? When you're sculpting, you sculpt. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know how it's gonna end. And yeah, it's good to have some design. Then you're gonna say, oh, but whatever architectures and a blueprint. I'm not saying that you should make a blueprint. If you feel like making a blueprint, go ahead and make a blueprint. But don't over plan it. Like where everything must be like, and then it just becomes like fucking fill in the blanks. It just becomes paint by numbers, and like I was gonna say martyr by numbers. There was a good Sandra Bullock movie with some other guy. I don't know what's it called. It's called Martyr by Number. It was a good movie actually. And I think that it came out at the time the Half Nelson came in, Half Nelson with Ryan Gosling. Half Nielsen was okay, but Murder by Numbers was better. There was this super intelligent guy, and they wanted to kill someone just for the sake of it, and see if we can get away with it. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, like you don't want to live a life of pain by numbers where everything, and then there are this all this like. I have some respect for these people, the self-help productive people, the minimal, but well, I'm not even thinking like I'm on autopilot. I'm not thinking like I'm like just like Zuckerberg. He wears the same T-shirt, same color T-shirt every day. Is like I'm not even thinking what it's like, yeah, I respect that part, that where you're on autopilot. You're like, but you can't be a superhuman. You can't. Tony Robbins. This is what this thickhead, this guy of gigantism. And I'm sorry if I'm being an ableist. I'm just I mean no harm, and that fool actually did 5 with DMT recently. Fucking Toad and I was, so both of them, like, and the first time he did a DMT, like he didn't feel anything. They had to grab him and load him up. I'm like, but anyway, yeah. What these guys don't get is you can't. This is what I'm echoing Alan Watson's spirit. Is like you can't plan out everything. Like the more you plan, the more it's gonna backfire. Like when you seek it, you cannot find. The Zen proverb says, like, it's like the more you try, the more you deviate from Tao. It's like you cannot plan every single fucking detail. When was the last time? See all the good moments you had in your life. all the your best moments, did you ever plan it to the detail? For heck, for all I know, some of the best moments in your life, not only they were not planned, they were completely unplanned and like completely came off the left field. I Is that how you said, off the left field? I don't know. I don't know. I don't watch baseball, so I shouldn't even. So I don't know why I'm using baseball, but baseball idiom. But yeah, it's like the best moment. It's like, and that's the thing, people has lost that the childlike enchantment and curiosity to go with the flow and go. That doesn't, going with the flow doesn't mean you don't have some. See, even nature, like there's nature is a cycle, like there's day, there's night, blah blah blah, but yeah, there are some structure, even inherently there is some structure, like you have the same repetition, the same cycle. That's actually a good point. Like, is does nature follow routine? Is nature really Taoist or whimsical? I mean, on the surface, on the surface level, nature is very Taoist, and but at the same time, it is also very routine like. Like things happen cyclically, like in clockwork fashion. Even the time allegedly when you're high is a construct, is a man-made construct. But the point being is like you cannot like yeah, I wrote a long comment on Crystal and Sagar's new channel of where they interviewed Joe Rogan. It's like, if Joe Rogan were to go back and say, oh, or if they had an agent or say, hey, we're gonna do this is our marketing strategy, blah blah blah. We're gonna replicate this, blah blah. By this, you're gonna have this million viewers. By this, you're gonna have a podcast. By this, you're gonna have a Spotify. You cannot engineer success. You cannot engineer genius. It's like sometimes you just have to let it flow. It's like as Alan Watts would say, like nowadays creativity is a big thing. They teach in school, but if that was the case, again, my words, Mozart and my word, like this is not exact code. Like you'd be creating Mozart and Leonardo da Vinci's left and right if that was the case. Beethoven, like you cannot replicate genius. It's like even Nike. If some company you to do that, oh, we're gonna have a simple, minimal logo and blah blah blah. No one's gonna. You can't engineer success. You cannot replicate. It's like a horse. Reality is like, it's like a horse. Success is like a horse. Like you can't, well, like what I mean by horse is like, yeah, as Hercules, you can step in the same river twice, or like, suppose this guy, even if you're doing this, so okay, let's play horse. Let's analyze playing horse. Like this guy does this crazy move and he shoots it right, and he makes it, and then another guy comes and has to copy that style. But you cannot, no matter how perfect it is and does it, it's never does it because you're not exactly in the same space time position, because you cannot as I said, you cannot, Heraclitus said, you cannot step in the same river twice. So yeah, it's like you cannot. Sometimes the way, only sometimes the way, like I have no control. People say, oh, it's all hard work, blah blah blah, grind 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 grind, you're gonna get then everyone would have been successful. Hard work doesn't equal success. I do think I used to deny it vehemently. Like luck plays a major role in it. Like Rebecca Black's Friday. Like how where would she be? Like if she didn't get, or forget Rebecca Black or anyone everyone, even Mark Brownlee, right? He was grinding and hustling and blah blah blah. But at the same time, there were the spikes in the inside the Google Analytics. You'll see all the spikes, but you have no control over those spikes. If you did, everyone would be having spikes every single day. I mean, yeah, there's the companies like Viral Hog and like what's that other called? Fucking Jukin Box or like Jukin Media, but like yeah, they have connections. And again, so there you go. I said it. It's all about connection, and it's not. It's all about connections, but that plays a major role. Or else if hard work and success was hard work led to success, all the bricklayers in the world would have been successful. You fuck. All the plumbers would have been successful, all of whatever. Like you cannot. There is no blueprint for success, and that's a self-help industry. Is the one big old fucking giant scam. And the idiots who fall for it are they deservedly so get, you should get ripped off. I mean, if you're so idiot, why if you're so lasciviously chasing after success, thinking, oh blah blah blah, if I'm gonna do the goal, I'm gonna happy. No, you fuck, motherfucker. You can be happy just by being being where you are right now. I mean, That's what people don't get, and people are so shallow and sleeping and just sheeples. I mean, just take Connor Murphy for example. And this guy is woke as fuck, and people are just because sheeple, hoi polloi and mass are sheeple, and they'll just like Jesus, they are Socrates. They killed. I'm not saying Connor is at that level, but the point I'm trying to convey is that sheeple will always drag people down instead of saying, I want to rise to his level and I'm gonna, like a Zen master, I want to give him a something to give him some whack on the side of the head and like a blow with a koan and have some fodder for him to think about. No, it's like drag people down. And I used to think it was the worst in Bangladeshi culture or India, but it's like everywhere. It's like, as Alan Watts would say, we all like to be equally inferior. The moment sometimes someone declares himself as the god, we get queasy, we get antsy, we're gonna pull him, drag him down. Why is it that we can be saying, okay, fine, fuck yeah, you think you're the kingdom of your own domain, king of your own domain, king of your kingdom? I'm gonna be my king of my own domain and kingdom. I'm gonna rise to your level and gonna fuck you up. What I mean by fuck you, and that's another thing. When you arrive, people say what's people, and that's with Buddhism and nihilism and everything, and like meditation, yoga, blank, make your mind blank. People think if you arise to your true self, you become sort of vacuum, like nothing, like nihilistic nothing. No, you idiot. Your true self means the self you're born with, your kensho, where you just think like 800 time of 800 millimeter of every little detail, pill pool of analytical, like hair splitting analysis of, you didn't do a micromillimeter of every single thought of your thing. You didn't do like, you didn't meta-analyze, you meta-analyze that thought to the infinite rung. And it's you just be you be yourself, and we lost that in touch with that self because of societal condition and everything. And sometimes people do psychedelics like LSD, DMT, ayahuasca, and they free themselves of the shackle. And some people schizophrenic like are naturally like that. About what happens, they get medicated and they're hammered down to fit into the mold so the society can keep eating the so the lotus fat guys can fat guys can keep eating the sipping the Kool-Aid. That's the society we live in. But the irony is, it's all cosmic drama. It's all God's play, right? Maybe there's the bong rip talk, even though I'm not high. And there's another thing. I think like one guy asked Chow Chow, what is what is what? I don't know. I forgot. No, Chow Chow. This guy asked Chow Chow, what is cosmic? I don't know what he said. What is they basically asked, like, yeah, like what is cosmic consciousness? Like what is the Buddha consciousness, whatever? And then the Chow Chow said, your ordinary consciousness is the Taoist consciousness. It's, I forgot the exact quote. I don't know what's happening. Maybe I'm too tired. It's about 12, approaching 12 midnight. So yeah, and also I'm the one who's rambling. So yeah, so that's another thing I found out. Like even like people want to get high on weed or other buzz or thing, but some people, I read some of the I heard some of the ADMT stories. One of the biggest revelations they find is, hey, life itself is a trip. Life itself is a high, and when you're doing those drugs, it's like your ordinary consciousness is the God consciousness. And why would you want to run away from, escape from it? It's like think about it. Like right now, I'm sitting on my chair. It's a darkened room. I turned off the lights. I'm just recording it. Anything can happen. You don't know what's gonna happen, and that's the part of the trip. And the more, how do I say it? Like the more wild the variables get. Like if I were to go outside, the more wild the particles will bounce, and we create this interesting probability space where anything could happen. Like And that's the thing. Like even tomorrow, you people think, oh, that's so mundane. Blah. It's not mundane. You don't know what's gonna happen. You gonna get a, I don't know, a mortgage letter or like fucking subpoena, or you can get a check, or you can get win the lottery. It's like you don't know. And that's the whole point. People are so afraid. They want to control, micromanage every single detail as they're like, Tony Robbins RPG, blah 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 blah. But then it becomes boring. You hit a plateau, and it's like they have one foot on the pedal and one foot on the gas, and they wonder why they're not making progress, because it's like completely you're beating yourself up. It's like Munchausen trilemma. It's like it's like you beating. It's like you're in a swamp, in a quicksand, and you want to pull yourself up, but then the moment you pull yourself too much, you take a baseball bat and you hit your head to put yourself down, and then it's like you're going nowhere. It's like, what would happen if you could control everything? And you think life would be picture perfect? Like if you knew every single details and variables and particles, like a billiard ball, like Laplacian dynamics, and like David Hume connection billiard ball, like every particle. If you had knowledge, like if you could predict future, life would be boring, dude. The whole point of the spice of life is like you don't know what's gonna happen, and people don't wanna. People like, what's the point of like doing a fucking writing a book? Like, what's the point of but people say, well, that's creative. The editing is creative. But yeah, still, it's like you're just filling in the blanks, dude. You're not creating anything. That's why. I mean, it's like it's like mold. It's like your temp, and that's why creative. The rest in peace creativity, because Hollywood is all about mold. It's like all the drama, it's all police shows. Even some of my favorite ones like Blacklist. It's a police drama basically. Every day you catch a bad guy. Every episode you catch a bad guy, and everything everything is a mold and boilerplate, and like fucking, whether it be medical drums, whatever. It's like so predictable and so cheesy, and that's why they keep Hollywood keep churning out garbage more and more, whether it be Avengers or whatever, like. And it's so formulaic, and that's why sometimes some masterpieces come once in a while, whether it be in terms of books or movies, or where it doesn't follow the mold and the matrix. By matrix I mean the mold, basically. In Bangla it's called chach. So, yeah, like life is a trip, dude. Don't overplan it. Life is a journey. It's like you don't want to kill it. Like it's like some people like fucking overplan, like down to the details what towel they're gonna fucking use when they go to the hotel when they're doing a vacation. Damn. I mean, it's good to have some, but like today, I was doing just for fun, and I got high actually. I visualized that, okay, I was in the zone. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the gas station and fill up the gas, and I envision at least five different scenarios what could happen. And guess what happened? This big old semi was right dab in the middle, like blocking the whole, like bisecting the whole. It's a weird place, and bisecting and I couldn't never have imagined. So, and I could never have imagined, like, even if they were bisecting it, how I'm gonna go. So I had to go the other way and to come back. And it's like you can't predict future, dude. You can't have control over it. And this obsession of control, to control everything, is like, dude, just let go. And that's why some people, like, I'm sure Tony Robbins would probably get it. Although I think he's arrogant enough and ego, too much of an ego to admit he was wrong. Like after he had his 5-meo and ayahuasca, that yeah, he was wrong. Like you can't, like he was too anal about stuff. Like, well, I'm gonna do this, and life's gonna be perfect. No, it's not gonna be perfect, you idiot. Because you can, as I don't know what to say, because you plan for the um, uh, to trip on the banana peel, banana skin. Like there's so many things that could happen, and like even if you're and that's what and even with my advice to the Olympic, which is going to start next week, like I have a book called Sports Psychology of Visual Skiing, and it talks about like fucking visualization. And no, I think it's called Visual Skiing. Basically it's about how it's all about sports. It's a sports psychology book, and I had a lot of sports psychology book. I mean, I wanted to have build up a knowledge or a niche on sports psychology, and so yeah, so like, and it talks about whether even like yeah, almost all books on sports psychology would talks about visualization and Olympians. You was worried about it, but you also kill the fucking the it's like the performance high, like like you go on a stage, a theater, like, or like you go out to bat in cricket or baseball, whatever. the you don't know what's gonna happen. That's the whole point of, that's the whole thrill of it. That's why, if you knew, just like asking out someone, or like the anxiety you feel, it's a healthy anxiety. It's like, if you knew the outcome, you wouldn't be. I mean, that's the whole point of it. That's the whole joie de vivre, the spice of life. It's like you don't know what's gonna happen. It's like the uncertainty. And people like fucking, they overplan the things to the detail, like and the worst is books, like oh god. But then you say, but that's why the things get done, or things would have never get, maybe they don't need to get done. How good the world, how better off the world would it be if the like 80% of the movies were not made. Like, it's a business. It's a business. It's not like then and creativity has taken a backseat to be given to be a business, and everything's competition now. It's like, who's the funniest, who can paint, who can paint the best. People used to do this for fucking fun and hobby. Even YouTube or like Facebook, it's like everything's a business, and that's consumerism. Capitalism is fucking is eating itself up, devouring itself like Ouroboros, like the snake eating itself. Thank you for listening.